Hello and welcome to the ICAN Show. I am your host, Shannon Battle, and we are excited about today's topic. We're talking about something that a lot of us have experienced it, whether we have been diagnosed with it or whether we have gone through something, and it's called depression. Depression is something that hits us all. We have experienced loss. We have experienced insecurities. There are just things that happen that just cause us to feel a little bit low. And today we're going to talk about how teens deal with it, because I think as adults we think that teens don't get depressed, like there aren't any issues they have other than just making good grades as they go to school. But we're going to see if there is some challenge to that, a parental assumption, shall we say. But I would like to, without further ado, introduce our cast here and welcome them to our set here so we can talk about depression. Are y'all feeling the love?
We are.
Y'all feel love?
We are.
Everybody good?
Yeah.
Anybody need caffeine?
A little bit.
Y'all all good? Okay, so you don't need caffeine until you get my age. Y'all have that natural energy roller coaster.
Something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, called Vibe, maybe? Yeah, y'all be vibing over there. Is it possible to have depression and not know it?
I think it is possible.
Okay, what are your thoughts?
Usually when a person has depression, they can feel it, but sometimes there are instances where you can have depression but not feel it. You could feel out of place for some reason, but at the same time, you may not know what you're experiencing.
When you don't feel it, you don't know it, when do you start recognizing that you might have depression? I mean, I'm going to go into what, depression actually is, but for what you all are thinking, when do you know that possibly you might be dealing with depression?
You know you're depressed when you just feel empty on the inside and you don't really feel like you have any purpose at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I think that's when you really need friends by your side, because if you don't have any friends, you don't have anybody, then that's just going to make the situation worse, and that's just going to make you feel lonely and empty and just down. And I have real friends. When I was depressed, that's where I went to. Like, they might have thought it was annoying, but when I was like, I want to spend the night at your house, it was because I needed somebody there with me. I wanted to smile, laugh, and, just have a good time.
Right.
And those are the ones I went to.
Right. Well, let's go and let's look at this video clip that we have with the famous Dandre and see what he has to say to shed some light into what goes on with you young people. This is the ICAN Show with Shannon Battle, your host. You teens that are watching, you're tuned in to TCT Network. I'm here with gospel phenomenon, Dandre Haddon.
What's up, Sister Battle? And the whole ICAN crew, what it do? It went down in Raleigh, Durham. Y'all know how they do it over here. It's real.
He's for real. He's for real. That's why you young people love him. I don't think you'll ever get too old for the young people.
Oh, never. No, that's my calling. Old age is in the mind. It's all in the mind. You keep your swag up, young people will love you.
Well, a lot of our young people that are watching, they did tweet me some questions earlier. It's like, okay, if you get to talk to him, ask him, what do you do when you feel like the church has turned their back on you because you've made so many mistakes and you turn your back on God and you don't want to come back because you've labeled yourself according to the mistakes you've made? How do you come back?
I say you pay them no attention. Pay them no attention and focus on your relationship with God. And you cannot let people run you away from God, you see. And man, God should not be judged by what people do. So when people mishandle you and talk about you and try to judge you for your mistakes, don't get upset with God. Know that you're wrestling with a demonic spirit. So just focus on your relationship with God. I did it. People had a lot to say about me. I had to focus on my relationship with God because I knew that my calling will outweigh my mistakes. My assignment will always outweigh your mistakes. And you're going to make some mistakes. Don't let nobody fool you to think that you're not going to make mistakes as a believer. You're going to mess up a whole lot of times. You're going to mess up in the worst way. But that doesn't disqualify you for God. You just get up, dust yourself off, keep moving, and pay no attention to folk because they mess up too, okay? Just keep it moving.
So how do we, as the body of Christ, embrace these young people that have made these mistakes, where they've had babies out of wedlock?
You just treat them the way you want to be treated. Okay. Because if you keep living, you're going to go through your storm. Yeah. Because there is nobody on the planet Earth that is perfect. There's a scripture in the Bible in 1 John that says, if a man say that he has no sin, you make God a lie, and the truth is not in you. That's scripture. said, if a man says he has no sin, the truth is not in you. We all have sinned and come short of the glory of God. Everybody, from the top to the bottom. So don't let nobody trap you in the mindset of thinking that you are disqualified because you messed up. Man, I'm a living witness. I'm telling you that your assignment will outweigh your mistakes.
Thank you.
Bottom
Well,
line. And I'm your big brother. I got your back. So if they mess with you, just call me. Hit me up on Twitter. I'm gonna go at them because I ain't scared of nobody.
Okay, he's not scared.
That's
I'm
right.
not scared either. So thank you. That was your ICAN moment with Deidre Haddon. All right. Thank you so much, Deidre Haddon, for that wisdom, that feedback, because a lot of people think that, young people are irrelevant when it comes to what they feel, what they go through, and they're experiencing a lot more, it seems like, in today's culture than what it is that I experienced growing up. I think, your network of having the neighborhood love and, family, big families, I think that is changing a lot. So giving you all limited choices on really who you can trust and who can you turn to whenever you're going through some things. But when you were talking, Phillip, and you were saying that, you start recognizing some of the things and you start feeling, down. And were there other things maybe that you all have experienced that let you know that there was some depression?
I wasn't as social as I used to be, or I didn't really want to be around too many people anymore. I got to a point where I didn't even really want to talk to my family or my mother. And I kind of felt bad about that. I felt like I was kind of pushing them away too much. And so I got to a point where I just started changing. I was like, this ain't right. I'm too down lately. I need to do better. So I tried to smile more. I wanted to be in better places and have better opportunities and better moments.
Okay, so you were affected socially. Anything else? How else do we know what's going on? What are some signs?
Like, you lose enthusiasm for, like, stuff you love. Like, you lose this interest. Like, you may do something your whole life and just love it. But when you get depressed, you may just lose interest in it. Like, it just goes away. The feeling, it doesn't feel the same. Like, I just don't want to do this no more. You just lose the love for it, basically. So that can affect you in the long run, because, like, maybe one day you experience it again, like, oh man, I missed it so much, but then at that time it's already too late. You can't get that back.
Right.
And like adding to what he said, like that's the situation that I went. The time that I was depressed was when I tore my ACL, and then it was just depressing because I was mad at God because I was like, why did He do this to me? Why am I going through this? But there comes a point to where you realize that, like, you need to be happy again. Like this is not yourself. And again, like I said, I was gonna add, like I was scared to even touch or see a basketball because of it would just remind me of everything the painful moment, and like I didn't want to hear about basketball anymore. I didn't want to do anything with it anymore. So
Yeah.
Everything that they're saying about depression is so true. It's like when you get in depression, it's like you're completely tuned out of reality. It's like you're not even there anymore, and you're in your own world, but it's flipped upside down. You don't know anything about life anymore. You're completely tuned out. You're just experiencing some things that you never experienced before. It's like hot and cold at the same time, in and out for you. You don't know what to do, and depression could be a very hard thing to experience.
And so as you're experiencing it, when do you know that you are getting so deep that if you don't stop or get help, that you're just going to continue drowning or sinking? How do you know? How do you know within yourself? Is there an alert, a flag that goes off? I mean, who's responsible for, letting you know that this is enough? You need to let somebody know. Do you is it your family? Is it you?
I could just say that it starts to get worse, and you come to the point where you feel, I need to change this. And if you don't go change it now, then it's only going to get worse and nothing's going to change about it. So you got to change it now, or you're going to keep going down that road, and soon there's not going to be anybody there for you. And you got to realize that this is just a storm, and it's it's going to be over soon. But in that storm, you have to walk on your own. You got to walk. You can't just stay there, because storms don't last forever. And storms may bring down rain, but in storms, they pass.
You took me to church. Woo! You did. I just had to throw that one and interject it, because I'm looking at you like, dang. Oh, God, you talking some good stuff, and really some good word there. And that's really seasoned, because that's what people need to understand. But, you know, when we're looking at depression, how has depression impacted your lives individually? I know you've shared some things, but has it, you know, really done something that's caused you to have a new revelation about life or a new awakening about yourself?
When you lose friends, because like with me, the thing when I had played basketball, and that was the thing that like connected me with other people, and then that's how we all bonded. That's how we all like shared our thoughts with each other. That's how we all like got together and just hung out. But when I just stopped, like that's when like the true colors came out, and like, oh, we can't mess with him no more, or like, man, he whack, man, he can't even like hang with us no more. So that's when like their true colors came out, when that thing that bonded us together just like killed everything.
So what did you realize then when that was taken away from you? Did anything about you change, or just your ability to perform on a certain level change?
Like, I think my ability to perform on a certain level, because I think like everybody needs that balance to keep them together. Like this, like, so like you may have nothing in common, but that one thing may just like bring y'all together and just like help y'all bond and connect. But when that thing is broken, I mean, what can you do?
But if you've already bonded and you've connected, how do you sever a relationship? Because, okay, now the thing that brought us together, I no longer have that. So are we no longer together?
I mean, the thing that connected y'all broke, so I mean.
Okay. So I guess that happens, you know, when you're part of these social groups. And what about the kids that are trying to get into, you know, some type of group? They're trying to, you know, get in with the in crowd. If you're not playing a sport, then, and you're doing something like a club, Are there certain clubs that are looked down upon if you are a member of in school, like if you play in the chess club or something like that? The kids, you know, have influences where they try to discourage people from not doing things that are not as popular?
Some clubs are, I would say, more popular than others. Mm-hmm. Like there could be an anime club in school that some of the kids go to, but there could be like a more popular club in school. Say if there was a designing club. Most people want to go to the designing club instead of the anime club. And if the people go to the anime club, they would be like, why aren't you in the designing club?
What's troubling is sometimes it's masked very well. You really can't see if someone is depressed, because people come to see, you know, you come to school, you're real hyped, laughing, joking, and, you know, everything is like pretentious. It's like you're wearing a mask. So who notices that something is off if you're putting on a A-game show? How do we know that you're depressed?
I think your real friends are the ones who are going to notice whether you're depressed, happy, or sad. Mm-hmm. Those are the ones, because they're the ones that really know who you are and how you always are. Like in my first period class, like my friends always know when something is wrong. Because sometimes I come in the morning, I'm like, I'm happy and smiling, and maybe there are times, there are days that I had a rough morning before coming to school, and they see me down and they're like, I know there's something wrong. So, and that was how you know those are your real friends, because those are the ones that really know who you are and your personality. Mm-hmm.
I think it's very different with guys and girls, because guys tend to not look at the emotional aspect of things when it comes to their friends. We mainly just laugh and stuff, but we don't really talk about who's sad or not. If you're really just quiet and don't say anything, then we'll be like, yo, what's up? Are you okay? But if you're just acting regular, then we're not going to go any deeper than that. So I think that's a big difference between guys and girls.
Is it because guys don't deal with the emotion if it's not on like the high sprung end of aggression, outgoing?
I think with the guys is the fact that they don't really like to talk about how they feel. They don't really like to talk about their emotions, because I personally feel like it makes them feel weak. Because you know how you see men and you think they're strong and, oh, like, I don't cry. I'm never sad. Like, so I think that's the thing with guys.
Okay, now you had a young lady here say what you guys think. Is there any truth to what she said?
Yes,
Yeah.
very much, because you don't really want anybody else to view you as weak. And in this society, you want to be a strong man. That's how you're supposed to be. That's how you expect it. So if you're walking around and everybody just thinks, oh, you're so depressed, they're going to look at you as like a lower status of man. Like, you're not going to be the same.
But that's sad when, you know, this is, to me, it's disheartening if you as a young, because God gives us all a range of emotions to feel. He doesn't just give you, you know, oh, everything cool, joyful, and, you know, happy. He gives us all a full range of emotions, even though, you know, you say that, you know, guys don't like to show it, because I've heard too that, you know, oh, guys don't feel anything, you know, they're just, you know, mind is just one direction. But do you feel?
I mean, like,
You feel everything women
yeah,
do.
like that's like
Okay.
What guys like. Some guys like when you talk about it, it makes you more mad. Like that's why like some guys don't like talk about it. Come and think about it. They just get angry and then aggressive, and then sometimes you see that aggressive nature come out that guy when they just think about it.
But then it seems like the aggression comes out anyways, because most guys typically who are dealing with depression, that, you know, studies have been done, I've read journal articles, instead of them showing this side of emotion that's perceived as weak, they'll go on the latter end and they'll get more aggressive. They're the ones that get crunked up. You know, they're the ones that are always into something. They're the ones that will get out there and fight. They're the ones, you know, that they're, you know, everything you see with them is on this high end of the extreme. So it doesn't mean that someone is not depressed, and that's really what parents should understand, that if your child is showing all of that, you know, it doesn't mean that they're not going through anything. But as young men, what do you all experience that would cause depression?
Bullying.
Loss of family.
Bullying, loss of family,
Female problems.
female problems. Female problems. So we've heard it from you all, and thank you for the time and the wisdom that you've given us. I know it seems like it just goes by so fast. Like you had just so much more you wanted to put in there, but it's good. But I just wanted to take some time out just to thank you all for tuning in, and I just particularly, you know, just want to shout out to Dr. Garth and Tina Kuntz for allowing us this opportunity to come into your homes and just be able to share what's going on with young people, so that way you can start the conversation and the dialogue in your homes. Because you, as the parent, you're the first one that should notice what's going on with your children. I know a lot of times we're busy with what goes on in our lives and trying to fix the lives of other people. However, we have to take time to stop and reflect on what's going on in our own home with our own children. Taking time, asking the right questions, and not allowing them to just saturate themselves and withdraw into their room and you're thinking everything is okay because they're telling you it's okay. You really need to learn how to adjust with the changes going on within your child. How they interacted with you when they were young, when they were in elementary, is going to be very different from how they are once they become older teenagers. So if this is possibly going on in your home and maybe you're not aware of what's going on, ask questions such as, how is your day going? And if they say, oh, it went good, then just keep going from there, you know. Well, what was good about it? You know, just don't stop there, but allow yourself to engage with your child. Turn TVs off, turn the cell phones off, and then just be in tune. But remember, we're here for you, and we hope that you've been blessed by this broadcast.